Hi Aries, welcome to your December 2021 General Tarot reading. It's Raina here. Okay. Alrighty then. Oh, let me get these cards out of the way. The heart of the matter is the Hangman. This is a card of a transitionary period or some kind of a waiting period for you, which for Aries is not the easiest thing to handle. Let me just keep going because I'll see what is happening. In the past position, we have the Chariot. Now, the Chariot can be about travel. And so if you've been waiting, you have travel plans that keep getting postponed. It can be something along those lines. Also, something to do with your career that has a, where you have done something that has led to success, but maybe you're waiting for that recognition or a raise or something along those lines. And it may be so long now that you're starting to feel jerked around. Like, are they just keeping me in this state of suspension because they have no intention of giving me my just due, like my raise, my promotion? Are they doing this because they know that I want it and they don't want to lose me, but they don't want to have to, pay the price, pay the piper? Another thing is romantically, this can also occur, and the Chariot is connected to the sign of Cancer. Believe it or not, Aries and Cancer people do hook up. And I mean, when I say hook up, I mean get together. I'm not talking about one night stands. I mean real relationships. And this is because you're both cardinal signs. Doesn't mean it's always the easiest relationship. And this person, this may be kind of a turnaround of some sort, where you're the one that is feeling jerked around. And the Cancer person, who is usually like very family oriented and wanting that marriage, very traditional and things like that. So what it could be is that if you have gotten involved with somebody who is involved with somebody else, like a marriage, they may be telling you what you want to hear, but they're very reluctant to turn their life upside down. And you might be very impatient to get the show on the road. So you have to, if you have been waiting for somebody to kind of take that step of leaving a marriage or leaving a relationship to be with you, you might be waiting a long time unless you have some sort of evidence that anything has changed. Because why wouldn't they leave? Why would they wait this long? I mean, I don't know if it's been a long time, but I'm just saying if it has been quite a while, it suggests that they don't really want to. They want to have their cake and eat it too. The higher message is the Five of Pentacles. Now, overall, this card can mean lack consciousness. And it doesn't mean that the person is experiencing not having enough money, not having even enough self-esteem necessarily, but it can be a fear in the back of somebody's mind that if they don't have a relationship, that they're going to be totally alone and they'll never have another relationship. So they always have to go from one relationship to the next. And I do observe that some people are like that. That's very problematic, because if you're always lining up another person, you're never learning how to be on your own, and you're also maybe settling for less in those relationships because you're just trying to keep yourself from being alone. So it's kind of like quantity versus quality in a sense. This is also a card that could be overly focused on the material versus the spiritual. And as a result, you might be waiting for something that is not really worth what it claims to be. And that, so like for the example of a person who's involved with somebody else, spiritually, if you look at that situation, you're participating in that, whether you knew about this third party before or not. Now you know. And it's also not, it might be beneath you to continue in this, waiting around for somebody like this, because they have already shown themselves to be deceptive. They have already broken the vows of their marriage, or the implied commitment, or the implied rules of the relationship. They've already broken those so that they can be with somebody else. And it's not to say that you're not better for them than that other person, but you still have to be above board, right? So there might be some things that you're kind of overlooking that are going on while you're so busy twiddling your thumbs and waiting for something to happen. What crosses you is a strength card, and you may be in a stage right now, Aries, where you're not feeling your usual confident self. And that might be why you're in this position in the first place, is because somebody caught you at a vulnerable moment. And I've been noting how Chiron is transiting through the sign of Aries. Has been for a few years now. And because it's forming a conjunction with your sun or your ascendant, if you're listening for or watching for your ascendant, it can make you a little bit more sensitive to life. But that's not necessarily a bad thing for Aries. The problem is when you do take things to heart and you blame yourself. Even if you can look at your situation, whatever that hangman represents, and you can say, I wish my life would move forward. And you can see how you have contributed to being in this situation. You also know that it's very hard for you to kind of muscle your way through things right now. You might feel like you can't, and not necessarily like literally that you can't, but that you won't. That you might have these unexplained anxieties that if I do this, my whole world is going to come crashing down. They might be totally in your head, but you feel this way. And that's important. It's important to honor your feelings. But it's also important to look at what is contributing to a feeling of not being as confident as you would like to be. What may have happened is that a past relationship may have taken its toll on you. So if you have any kind of emotional scarring from a relationship, I was going to say an abusive relationship, but it doesn't have to be obviously physical. It could be emotionally abusive. It may have kind of wormed its way into your psyche and made you doubt yourself. And getting involved with somebody else is not an antidote to a low self-esteem. It really isn't. You have to find a way to love yourself. Looking to outer relationships to kind of validate you, to boost you up, it's not to say that it can't work on any level, but it's ultimately this is an inside job. And maybe you are not really taking that seriously, and you are kind of pinning your hopes on a particular relationship that may be kind of like out of reach in a certain way. And it is what it is. That's just what's happening. What is coming in is the Queen of Cups. This is a very intuitive card. This is a very artistic card. And, so creativity is associated with this. And let's say that first scenario I was talking about, like you're waiting for this promotion, you're doing this, you're doing that. You may have an idea that comes into your mind, and it's like a good idea. And it may be an idea of how you can work for yourself. Because truth be told, if you are working for someone else, Aries, that is not necessarily your ideal situation. That's not what you would prefer. If you had your druthers, it wouldn't be to work for somebody else. And the question is, though, what do I sell? What do I do? And you may get an idea that rocks your world, and that you feel like, I'm going to run with this. I'm going to make this happen. And maybe you already are creative, and you've been looking for a green light to kind of pursue those artistic passions of yours. And you may decide this is it. Because while I'm waiting around, I could be doing something else. What am I waiting for? In relationships, this can be like really tuning into what you think is going on and being able to discern, what your next move is. And the outcome is the Ace of Cups. So if this is about a new love, then it certainly does seem like it's featured based on this card. It's interesting because we have a Venus retrograde beginning on the 19th of December. And it's in Capricorn, so it is in that 10th house of career. So that, I could see that being like some kind of a salary situation, because Venus can be money. But in any case, whatever this is, the Ace of Cups can even be a creative endeavor. The last two cards I have are water element types of cards with the cups. So that seems to me where you're going with this is that you want something. You want to feel emotionally fulfilled, whether it's relationship related or if it's work related, that you want to feel like you have that sense of emotional fulfillment with what you're doing. And the Ace of Cups can be a new relationship coming in. It can be a new, like a job offer in that kind of a field, either the healing arts or the creative field. Okay, that's what I have for you, Aries. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.